Okay, Ray, I'm going to ask you a few questions on construction on campus and the safety of it. My first question for you is, what are your thoughts on all the construction on campus?
So I see like two sides to it. There's the upside and the downside. The downside is obviously a little more personal. It's annoying, especially because we live in a residence hall setting, and with there being a lot of construction going on, especially from now till whenever the new residence halls are going to get built. There's a problem of noise because they start early in the morning, disturbs a lot of people in their sleep. And then there's also the factor of that it's an inconvenience, especially because a lot of students who live on campus tend to walk to class because of proximity reasons. And with the construction happening, a lot of the sidewalks get closed, which means that it's a lot more inconvenient because we'd have to cross roads and stuff like that. And there are just some sidewalks that are just being closed that can give us the path of least resistance, in the sense of that it'll get us to our destination in the quickest way possible in the shortest amount of time. But with those sidewalks closed, it's a lot harder, and it'll take a lot longer for us to reach the destination. So that's a personal, and that's the downside that I see. However, the upside is if you look at the bigger picture, with the new residence halls, I'm going to be specific towards residence halls because I work there, and and both of us live in residence halls. If you look at the bigger picture, with the whole overhousing problem that we are having right now, with the new residence halls getting built, one, we can intake more students, which means that we can get more residents, which means that we can take in more people to live on campus.
Yeah.
Which statistically provides it's said that people who live on campus tend to have a higher GPA, so overall academic success would also increase as well, correlation wise. But also, if you look at the bigger picture, for the other academic buildings getting built, you can improve your faculty, you can increase your faculty, you can increase the number of students, which means that you're going to have more students that are able to take more, that have a larger choice of being able to take more classes with the new buildings getting built.
Okay. So you mentioned the students walking to class and having to navigate around construction. Do you think construction sites are safe enough for students to be that close to them, or do you think there need to be some improvements towards safety for the students?
The way I see it is you can't ever be 100% safe, especially with construction stuff, because anything can go wrong. There are so many factors that come into play. Weather comes into play, the person's attention, the construction worker's attention, the kind of equipment that they're using, the positioning of the equipment. There are way too many factors that come into it, and so you can never be 100% safe. And I think especially with things like safety, you can't just put the entire burden on the construction itself. There has to be some kind of responsibility to yourself, that you don't behave in such a way that causes you to be in a situation where it's really dangerous for you.
Yeah.
So to some point that you also have to pay attention, in the sense that people have to for example, when you're walking, a lot of people will be on their phones, and they won't be looking directly at what's directly ahead of them. And I'm sure as soon as the smartphone era has took off, the number of accidents that have happened, I'm sure that there might have been a marginal increase or a slight increase in terms of that. So I feel like it's a 50-50 thing. So as long as the students